So you've hired your first chatter, they're doing okay, but you know they have the potential to achieve significantly better results and actually improve your model. And after training hundreds of chatters for myself for my own agency, which generates well over 100K a month, I've tried everything when it comes to onboarding and training new team members. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about training chatters, including key points like a good sales process, team motivation, and where they're all going to hang out. Now, these strategies will directly impact your model's earnings. By the end of this video, you're going to feel confident in making your next hire and ensuring you can train them effectively. So let's dive in. So the first thing we want to come up with is a 3-stage interview process. Now, how this phase is basically going to go is we're going to have an interview phase, we're going to have a training phase, and we're also going to have the phase where we decide whether they're going to stay with us or not. So the interview phase is pretty simple. We want to go through some basic things with them. We want to do an English test, we want to do a Wi-Fi test, and we also want to do an IQ test. And only once these things have been completed, we're actually going to have a proper interview with them, see what they want to get out of the job, see what experience they've had in the past, and yeah, just see if they're going to be a right fit. We're going to go through loads of questions like where are they from, have they had experience before, what's their availability, and if they're actually going to be a good fit with what we have going on at the current time. It's very important to do this process because I see a lot of people just making hires and not even putting much effort into it. But when you're trusting someone with a business that you've built or a business that you're building, and it's like your baby, you need to make sure the person that you're taking onto the team is not going to fuck you over and is going to be trustworthy, reliable, and actually do what they're supposed to do when they're on their shift. So second of all, we've got a training phase. Now the training phase is going to last roughly 3 to 5 shifts. As you can see here, new chatter training session. We're going to have one initial training session just to go through all of our sales process and everything that we need. And once they've learned the basics about Onlyfans and the platform in general, then for the next 2 to 4 training sessions, we are going to see if they are even the right fit for us. Now, the next 2 to 4 training sessions, we're going to go in depth about everything when it comes to talking to the subs, how to build relationships, how to make sales, everything that you could think of is going to be taught in these 2 to 4 shifts. Now, it does take some time. You can't just give someone your chatting documents and expect them to learn everything. It's going to take some time. But once you have someone who can pick things up quickly and you've actually found a gem which you think could stay with you for a long time, then it's completely worth it. Now, by this point, we're on the 3rd stage. This is where we're basically going to decide whether the chatter is a good fit for our agency or we should just let them go. So after these 2 to 4 training shifts, they should understand the sales process, they should be able to chat on their own, and they should have learned the platform. Now, if they haven't done that, then we just have to let them go. But if they have, we're going to put them into the schedule and put them on their shift pattern, which is hopefully best suited towards them. Now, this is basically just going to stop you from wasting a lot of time. You know, you don't want to be pouring weeks and weeks into training a chatter who's not going to be able to pick it up. At the end of the day, some people just aren't good learners, and you need to notice the people who pick up everything you're saying, listen well, and learn well. So the second thing I want to talk about is a chatter Discord to increase motivation. Here's an example of one of our chatter Discords. As you can see, it's a whole sort of office lounge, right? It's an office type environment. The guys are always, whenever the guys are on their shifts, they are chilling in the offices and they can literally just talk to their friends throughout the entire shift. Now, not only is this going to make it more enjoyable for them, but it's actually going to make them more motivated. And it's going to give them that friendly competition, which everyone really wants when they're on their shift. So as you can see in the wins channel, we are always putting our wins inside. So this guy done $250 and it was his first shift, right? And then he got another 200. And the chat manager says, you know, you can't let the new guy outsell you. So it's basically just going to motivate everyone to do better and be better. You know, the money is completely fine, but once someone is genuinely motivated and genuinely wants to do well, that's what's really going to make someone excel as an employee. So the third thing I want to come on to is having a good sales process that is easy to understand and can be very, very versatile. Now, when I actually made this sales process for my chatters, I literally put my whole mind on a sheet of paper. So as you can see, this is like the normal sales process. What it basically does, it shows a step-by-step of how a chatter can actually come to sell, right? So the first step is general conversation, second step is transitioning, third step is dirty talk, and fourth step is the first sell. Now, if a chatter's thinking, right, how do I actually do general conversation? They literally just click on the doc, come into the second doc, and it's going to explain exactly how to do that step start to finish. Now, we literally say to the chatters, it's good to have these docs up for your entire shift, because whenever someone's stuck, whenever someone goes into a conversation, they want to see what to do next, they can literally just come into this doc, click on the correct doc, they can go to the doc and see exactly what they need to do. Now, this isn't just good for the chatters, but this is also good for the agency owners because you're not going to have to put as much time into training the chatters. Because once a chatter has done the first couple of shifts, they should be able to use the docs. And once they can use the docs, they don't really need you as much. And it's like one of the key things that I tell my chatter trainers is to not just teach them the sales process, but teach them how to use the docs. Because if they can use the docs, they can literally become a pro without any training just by following the docs throughout their first 10 shifts or so. Now, this document alone has literally increased our agency revenue by about 50k a month. And all it was really doing is putting my mind and my experience on a document for everyone else to understand. And by the way, if you're not currently doing 10 to 20k with your agency and you want me and my team to help, DM me the word OFM on IG is the first link in the description. So the final point I want to come on to is chatter meetings. Now, this can either be once every other day or it can be once a week. The more often that you do these meetings, the better it's going to be for you and your agency. So in these meetings, what we basically do is we just make it fun for everyone. Like, one of the most important things when it comes to being a chatter or working any job in general is it being fun. It's like when you were at school, right? If a teacher made a lesson fun, you want to do the lesson more and you're going to work harder to actually do better for that teacher. And it's exactly the same when it comes to this. So in the meetings, we'll be doing a whole load of different stuff. Like, for example, role plays for extra money, or we'll give away prizes, or we'll give away extra commission, whatever it might be. We're going to do everything we can to motivate the chatter and make them want to be at work, not just come here, make their commission and then go home. We want them to enjoy everything they're doing. Another thing we'll do is basically a wheel spin, right? We'll put everyone's name in a wheel spin. We'll do the role play. Whoever does the role play gets extra commission. So if they're literally just turning up to these meetings, they're talking with the whole team, they're getting motivated, we're setting the target for the day or the week, and we're giving updates, that is going to do a whole load of good for you, your agency, and the whole team in general. So that's how you can effectively manage and train your own chatters so they can print cash for you 24/7. And if you want to know exactly how we use AI in our agency to increase earnings, then click this video on the screen right now and watch it. Take care.